Like, they're Hollywood and like television and video games are really trying to do some stuff to alter the medium. So what Kojima's doing is really good for video games because up until this point, what have they been? All they've been is fucking like shit they sell to people, something you peddle to somebody.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
A
usually
product.
what video games are.
You know, and he's trying to turn, just like Andy Warhol, he's trying to turn products into art.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Emergent Gamer Podcast. My name is Neo Ayoshi. For episode 172, we're here.
And I'm Felix Hergood.
And I'm Snacks the Cat.
Bingo.
Snacks the Cat.
Good job, guys.
This is Snacks the Cat's first official live show.
Yeah.
So now
the
you
Emergent Gamer
you
Podcast.
can see his face.
Yeah, he's like, he always
You can
says...
put a face to the stupid voice.
No social media
There we go.
presence.
He always says at the end of all of our shows, and he'll probably say today, don't find me anywhere,
Yeah,
except
I
now
mean,
they're finding you right now.
Yeah, they can kind of find me now.
You're
but
found.
Not really.
You've been
They
doxxed.
won't find me that hard.
You have been doxxed.
I don't think he's been doxxed, but...
No.
Well, awesome, guys. So we're going to do another show like we did last week. I wasn't here for last week.
You
but
weren't.
we're going to break down... There's not a lot of news, so we're just going to break down stuff from E3. Today, we're going to try and do Death Stranding, but that's later in the show.
That's later, yeah. These two guys, these are two nutballs I'm sitting next to.
We're Kojima nuts.
You're real Kojima nuts. You guys were both excited about Death Stranding.
Very much so.
So they're gonna get into that later, and I'm just gonna ask questions. That's all I can fucking do.
Absolutely.
There's going to be a lot of questions.
Some weird ass shit, dude.
There will be
yeah.
more questions than answers. I can
I can't
promise you that.
wait.
Okay, good.
I can promise you that.
But
a lot of baby talk.
baby talk.
Oh, yeah, a lot of baby talk.
We're going to talk about babies.
Oh, you're gonna be talking about babies.
You can't talk about Death Stranding without
And
talking
without
about
talking
babies.
about babies.
because of the baby that's in that fucking game, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Weird baby.
Exactly.
All right, cool. But beforehand, we're just going to talk about us and
Just
what we've been doing.
What we're playing.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Did you want to lead us off there, guest host?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, go ahead, bud.
Yeah, so I've actually been revisiting Resident Evil, the remake, on PlayStation 4.
Oh, we had a huge show last week where we talked nothing but Resident Evil.
Yeah.
It's very relevant. Yes.
I mean, I think like most people, I got really pumped up by the 2 remake, so I wanted to hop back in and finish it because I never finished the first one.
Quick opinion. What do you think of what we saw of Resident Evil 2 remake?
I think it looks great. I'm super
me too.
stoked for it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
do you have a problem with the models, the
No,
character models?
I think people are.
I don't either.
I think people are dumb. I've talked to
Who has problems with the fucking
a lot of
character
people.
models?
There were some things that came out immediately after the press conferences about the character models
Because they don't look like the shitty...
Well, again, like it's
terrible,
updated
like-
character models, and like I was in the room with like watching that press conference with very diehard Resident Evil like fans that have been like, this was the most exciting thing they saw all of E3, and when they saw Leon, they were like, I'm so glad he looks like that.
Yeah.
And they didn't try to make it some weird updated version. Like, he looks like a kid, and like that's the way it should be because he's only 18 years old. So like people that are freaking out about it, it's like, look, that's just Capcom's engine they're using for Resident Evil. It looks good. You know, the teeth are always going to be a little weird. Like, I think Devil May Cry 5, like they do teeth weird in that game too, but like it's just their engine. I am very excited to play it. It looks dark, it looks gritty, it looks insane with the dismemberment that they're adding in, like Dead Space level to another point. So that's really exciting.
I love it. Yeah.
And it looks scary. So I got really stoked, so I decided to jump back in, and I'm almost done, and I might run through a second time for Chris's campaign. But other than that, I got an NES Classic. So I was able to snag one of those. My one buddy...
How much was that?
60.
$60.
Yeah,
Cool.
my one buddy hooked me up with an EU version because they went on sale on Amazon prior to anything.
Did that get you something cooler?
Anything different?
No, it just doesn't. If anything, it doesn't come with an AC outlet. So,
bummer.
Damn Brits.
but it's okay. I mean, I got it.
Different format.
It's not even out in the States again. Like, they did restocking for the 30th, so it's not even, as of this recording, like it's not even available for us yet.
Oh, wow.
So like he got it way ahead.
Who was your friend that got it? Someone from the UK?
No.
Oh, just a buddy.
Yeah, just my buddy. He's big on getting things
He's
early.
he's good at getting things when you need him.
Yeah, down low. He's a good resource.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. So like he hooked me up with that, and I was playing that the other day. Just revisiting some classics like Zelda 2,
nice.
Gradius, all the good stuff, Ghosts and Goblins. Very fun, very fun. It sucks to have like an updated TV because those games were not formatted for like an HD television, so the audio is always cutting out on high chip tunes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from the audio files. The same thing happens on the Super Nintendo, but to a lesser degree. So like constantly the audio is cutting out if you're using surround sound. So you got to kind of bring it down a notch.
That's funny.
But very, very fun. And then outside of that, I have been sinking my teeth slowly back into Hearthstone. I don't want to say that I'm fully back in, but like I've definitely been tweaking.
That's a hard rabbit hole to fall
Yeah.
into.
You just said you're tweaking.
No, I'm
Is tweaking
Sinking.
sinking.
I thought
my
you
teeth
said
back in.
tweaking.
I am not tweaking. No,
I thought you said
I
twerking.
am definitely.
I thought he
not
said
doing that.
tweaking like tweaking meth.
I'm not tweaking. No.
like you just compared Hearthstone to meth.
It
it
is.
is crap.
They're both fucking
Yeah.
terrible for
Yeah.
you, but it's not that bad.
I found it was just too hard to keep up with like the new metas that they kept
It
introducing.
is, but right
Yeah.
now the meta is pretty stable and it's actually kind of fun. And I have a lot of cards that I haven't had to spend money for. So it's right now they're doing an event where you can basically play the game for. You can have fun with the game for free right now, and that's what's keeping me in. I'm playing a lot more just solo adventures with NPCs as opposed to players. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's it?
that's it for now. I'm just holding on. Oh, and Mario Tennis.
Oh, yeah.
Playing the shit out of Mario Tennis.
All right,
Yeah.
tell us about it. It's a new
All right,
game.
well,
Just
Diamond Jab was just over today, and he came on my stream. He goes, "I forgot we played the Switch," and he's like, "Oh, I forgot. I should have brought my Switch over. I got the Mario Tennis."
Yeah.
Mario Tennis is great.
And he's telling me all about it. I was like, "Man, I want to get that."
All right, so what's up with it?
The story mode sucks. But
I mean, that's what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
Story mode in fucking tennis.
it's not
tried.
fun. You just want to skip.
Doesn't
Like
make
it's got this nonsensical board for you to like run around the campaign in to get to each area and court. But and the challenges themselves aren't fun, and it ends up being like random in some instances. But actually playing against other players or just the NPCs in like an actual match or a tournament feels great. If you haven't been a fan of Mario Tennis in the past, this isn't going to change your opinion on it. But if you like the Mario sports games like Strikers, or even I guess those Olympic games that they do with Sonic sometimes, like this is definitely one to jump into. And if you have any interest in it, I think it's fun. It is like Kotaku put it the best way possible in an article. It is the best fighting game out right now because it gets you so stoked and like aggressive and you like, but you can only be really at your own fault when you mess up against another player because you're like, I shouldn't have spiked there.
Is it couch co-op?
It is couch co-op up to 4 people.
Can you come over?
I can.
We got to bring that over and bring that to
You can
the
get 4
Felix
people.
stream.
I did it in a room full of 4 people and we played doubles and it was fucking awesome.
That sounds
I think it'd
amazing.
be fun for me and you to do it on the next couch co-op we do.
It could, yeah.
It'll be so much
I'm gonna
fucking
get really
fun.
aggressive, but
Now,
it'll be
I hear like the fighting, like the tennis system is like fighting because of the different types of swings and
Yeah.
and serves and special moves that they have.
Yeah, there's special moves. You can play without them if you want, but the special moves are really fun and they don't feel cheap. And there's a lot of strategizing because you have a gauge which gains you energy as you hit it within
Like a
a
power
certain
gauge.
area of the court. Yeah, and if you time it right, then you get more energy and you can use that energy to expend on like slowing down time if you can't get to a ball in time, or like flicking the right stick so that you jump immediately over to the other side of the court if you can't run over there if you have a slow character. And it feels good and you have like a special move, and sometimes you can counter special moves. And it's not only just losing from a point advantage. There is a method where if you save up enough special energy, you can break the other person's racket because rackets have durability.
And that's an automatic loss.
That's an automatic loss. Everybody gets 2 rackets. So if you're in the middle of a match and somebody's up on one whole game on you and you go to switch sides of the court, if you're able to store 2 really good special moves and break that person's racket 2 times in a row, it doesn't matter if they have the advantage. Their rackets are gone for the game, so they're out. And you take the game. But there's counters. If you get the timing exactly right, you won't lose durability. It's really cool. I love it a lot, and I can't wait to play more of it. But like I said, if you're not a fan of this, like Mario Tennis, this is probably not going to change your opinion, honestly.
Yeah, I was a lot of people I talked to or I play Switch stuff with. They wanted me to get it, but
Yeah.
I don't see myself playing that on my own.
Yeah.
And like it would only be a situation where I'm like, oh, let's play tennis together.
Yeah.
But so I felt like
Yeah, and at that point, you would
I
just
wouldn't
in a
play
room
it
with
by
somebody else.
myself.
No.
It's
not
fun
gonna
by
play it
yourself
by
if you want to play like
Maybe.
online tournaments.
I don't know.
I've been
maybe.
playing that game since the N64 though, so like that's the only sports game for Mario that I'll get into hardcore.
Nice.
Yeah, I could totally be down with that. I could be down with that over Mario Kart any day of the week.
Mario
You're insane.
Mario Kart is. I love it.
I
You're
just don't,
bonkers,
just
bro.
don't really care. I don't like racing games. I think that's my problem. I know Mario Kart is
not just a
technically
racing game.
Yeah.
not a
It's
racing
life.
game, but I just
Yeah.
get bored after a while. I don't
Okay.
know. It's just
Oh, I
me.
get it.
He's just
Um,
not getting any of the stars or the
But
mushrooms.
it's
No.
funny enough. I also picked up. Do you want to go next? Are
No,
you?
go
are you
ahead.
good?
Go ahead, bud.
Yeah, I'm good.
So I also picked up a new Switch game.
Uh-oh.
It was on sale for the E3 week sale that they did on Switch.
What is it?
Splatoon 2.
That's the one with
I'm a
all
kid
the
now,
paint,
I'm a
the
squid
paint
now.
and whatnot.
Squid Kid.
Yes.
You're an
You
inkling.
pa-
I'm an inkling.
You're a what?
I'm a kid
They call
now.
'em
I'm a
inklings.
squid now. That's
they call
like
you squids?
they're squid
No, they're
kids.
called inklings.
Squid kids, inklings. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
So when the way Nintendo makes games, they think of a fun thing the game should do,
Right.
like making Kirby yarn or making Yoshi into a storybook and a pop-up book. They think of all these things and they go, okay, how can we frame a game around this? So they framed the idea of covering a map in ink, and they're like, okay, so how can we make this make sense in a multiplayer game?
Yeah. How could we?
Make everyone a bunch of octopus kids.
And make it so they don't have to hit anybody.
And you don't have
the
to
map.
you don't have to hit anyone. You just shoot the map. So the object of the game is to take your cool ink blaster weapon, many to choose from, and cover the map in ink. That is the object of the
That's
game.
it.
Yeah.
So you win by covering the map mostly with your ink, and you're fighting against the other team.
And it
before.
tells you like a percentage as you're playing.
Yeah. When you
When
finish
you're
the
done,
game.
Yeah.
When you finish the game.
Yeah. It'll grade.
You don't
each
see it
team.
as you go.
No.
So there's no like.
You get like a map representation to show you how much is covered, but you don't get a
Yeah,
percentage.
just so you know, like, okay, I need to spawn and then launch myself over here because you spawn at one area of the map, and then you can jump on your teammates, so you can either back them up or start back at the. That's just part of the flow of the game. You get all kinds of cool splat weapons. You get a big.
What's a splat weapon? Like a grenade?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ink grenades are a thing.
Oh, ink grenades. Yeah.
There's like ink rifles. They have names for all these things.
Yeah, there's like brushes that
Dual
you can
wielding
roll across the
Oh,
floor.
I love the brush, man.
They're
I'm
fun,
all about
yeah.
the paint roller. The
Oh,
paint roller is my
roller's
jam.
okay.
Were they inspired by paintball?
I would say a little bit.
Do you think this was
maybe.
inspired by the?
Yeah, I think there's definitely like elements of paintball in it. I think they were just more so like I remember seeing original interviews from when the first game came out, and they were just like very interested in aquatic life when they were coming up with a new IP for Nintendo, because this is the first new IP from Nintendo in like a while.
Yeah.
And when they thought about squids, they really kind of honed in on the idea.
Well,
of
yeah,
the
because
ink
squids
mechanic.
ink things.
Yes, that's
That's
the
like
idea.
a real
That's
thing
the-
about
yeah.
squids. Yeah, I just
Exactly.
remembered that.
So they really were kind of focusing on like how can we make a shooter interesting, and the idea is that you don't have to just be good at shooting somebody. You can you win by covering the map in ink
Right.
just with your gun.
That's
So like
pretty
So it's
cool.
not a direct like PvP. There's
Yeah.
no death
No.
matching involved.
somebody can have 27 kills on a team and still lose because they just didn't cover any ink on the map.
Well, that's good for counterplay. That
Yeah,
gives you
totally.
that gives you more of a way to win. I hate games where it's just there's only one way to win and get kills.
I find it so casual to play that I can just lay in bed and not worry about dying. I can just play it and enjoy myself covering this map and going against other teams.
Yeah.
They do these like events too. Like I don't know how often, but last week they were doing an
yeah.
event. They were doing orange juice wars.
Yeah.
This is really weird.
so
Pulp-
everything was just orange.
No,
No, they do a,
You pick a side. So
yeah.
do you like pulp orange juice or non-pulped orange juice?
Yeah. There are these
I hate pulp orange juice.
So
Okay.
then you would be
Yeah,
on the
non-pulp.
non-pulp side.
There's these
that.
things called splat fests, and they come around once once a month or so, and yeah, it's divided between two teams, and you pick which team you're on, and basically it divides the community for who picks what. So like during Halloween, it was vampires versus werewolves. So like you picked what team you were going to be on, and then you for the weekend that it was live. Whoever won the most matches or covered the most ink, they won for the team, and you get like rewards for the multiplayer so that you can buy new outfits, and the outfits give you like special benefits and stuff. So like it incentivizes you to play during the events and pick a side.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is. It's very fun.
Yeah.
And they keep up to date with it. They have a 2-year plan with this game. We're coming up on the first year, so like they've been true to it.
When you log in, they give you like a little like a little TV show pops up of these like 2 characters, and they tell you what's going on in the world of Splatoon or whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
2 lines of thought.
Go on.
1, I wonder if they have brought this to the real world. I wonder if there are people who are doing Splatoon. Where
That's a lot of paint.
That's a lot of paint.
Yeah, that's a lot of paint.
Where you paint like
There's people
an
in
area.
Japan with the Mario Karts.
Yeah,
service.
Jesus.
Oh wait, Japan's doing Mario Karts, huh?
They have like a little Mario Kart service. You can drive around Tokyo.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Yeah. So that was my one thought, and then my other thought was, you know what? I can't remember my other thought. I'm going to shut up.
And
now.
the other thing is,
And
I don't remember.
the other
Perfect.
thing is, I lost my train of thought.
So another game. I went away this past weekend.
Real
Go
quick,
on.
Did you play any
CRS.
Salmon Run?
Artemis Joe.
No, I have not.
We'll hook up on Salmon Run. That's
Yeah.
that's the horde mode.
I haven't
and
played
that's
with other
real
people
fun.
yet. Like I have people I've been gone all weekend.
Yeah.
So I bought it before the weekend because I knew I was like going away for a
Yeah.
little bit. But and the sale was ending.
I got your friend code. We'll
Yeah, we'll hook
connect.
up. We'll hook up. But another game I got on the Switch.
I got your friend code.
I don't got your friend code. Get out of
I
here.
got yours.
You want my friend code?
No inklings.
I
for
got
you.
I got my friend code.
I don't want no inklings.
I got your friend code.
Okay.
So another thing I picked up on Switch this past weekend.
I want to hear.
I got Hollow Knight
Yes. Okay.
because that dropped. That was during the E3 press conference.
Hollow Knight.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like an indie title.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I'm confusing that for a second with Shovel Knight.
No.
No.
Shovel Knight's infinitely better. But I'll
I haven't played it. So I shouldn't judge it.
fucking kill you.
But
right
I
here.
know it's like critically acclaimed.
I was
and all
thinking
that.
about getting Shovel Knight.
Shovel
But
Knight's
go with
incredible.
Hollow Knight. though.
Continue.
Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
So they dropped it like that was like one of their like, and it's out today,
Yeah.
like on their E3 conference stage. So I picked it up and I was like on a train ride to
15, you said?
It was 15. I used some of my gold coins and I got it for $10.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
So
It's a cool service they have. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy it. You got to use them because you'll lose them.
Yeah.
They expire. So anyway, it's a very tough, like side-scrolling Metroidvania game.
Yes.
It's very tough. It's different than other ones I've played because they don't really tell you at all what you're doing or where you're going, and the combat is I don't want to say it's Dark Souls like, but if you die, you lose all the money that you've accumulated that you need to use to buy things, and then you have to go find your body, kill the shadow of your ghost.
Yeah, you get like a little specter that flies around. And you just gotta kill it. It's not very hard, but like it is
No.
like the challenge is getting
But
back to yourself,
getting
just like
back
Dark
to it.
Souls.
One of the weird things about it is the combat. There's like kind of like a kickback when you hit things.
Yeah.
So you actually have you have to worry about how you kill enemies because they like push you back almost when you swing. There's like a pressure that hits you. Have you played this?
I have actually. I picked it up
Did you
that
beat
day.
it?
No, I honestly didn't get too into it. I was like, so I think the kickback is what's giving me issues, but I also just don't like the way the character feels in the game. Like
It's a little slow.
I think it's like it's overly responsive, like in certain ways. Like when you jump, it just feels like you're floating through the world. It doesn't feel finished. It doesn't feel like your character has weight. And I really don't like that. So I'll over jump or I'll like jump on something and he'll just land straight flat on that section. There's
Right.
no like there's just like no give to anything, and like I hate the way it feels because like I'll jump into an enemy to attack them and then I'll get the kickback and then I'll immediately like fall straight there and like it just doesn't feel right. And then
It's fun. Well, because I'm at a point now. I got an air dash,
okay,
so that kind of helps.
Yeah.
it feels a lot better when you have the air dash.
yeah.
There's also ways that they use that little kickback on. I don't know how to phrase this the way. I don't know how to describe this to people.
Yeah.
It's really hard to describe, but
It just feels kind of floaty in certain ways.
there's an enemy you come across and like there's like lava there's an enemy with hard shell and you need to use that kickback to almost jump on top of him and keep swiping down, like keep hitting down on him so you can stay in the air
that's
and
cool.
get across gaps. And it took me a little bit to figure out, but I was like, wait a minute, this is how the hitting the whatever the attacking system works.
right.
So
I think I was overly hard on it when I first played it because I really did not jive with it. But I want to go back and play it. I re-downloaded it.
Looks
so
really cool.
I just don't think I'm in the
Yeah.
mood for it right now. So I'll play it when I'm done with Resident Evil probably.
it's got a great art style.
Yeah, art style's great. It's
Yeah.
like all like kind of bug themed, which is
Yeah.
really cool. So you'll fight like beetles and they'll roll into their shell, and then you gotta like
Pretty
and
mild.
you find other bugs in
Pretty-
that help
pretty
you.
gross looking worm fuckers.
Oh yeah, and it's very well animated too. I like
Yeah,
that.
it looks great. Like that art looks cool. There's a little like health regen system, like
Mm-hmm.
by killing enemies, which is actually really cool. But yeah, like if you just want like a good side scroll or anything, like totally cool.
Yeah, I'm like stuck at a certain point right now. I need to like really like dive back into it, but
It's apparently really long too, like
Yeah.
20 to 30 hours. Like
Damn.
is what I'm hearing.
well. I hope I can finish that because I'll probably finish it eventually.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've also been playing Destiny 2 on PC.
Woo!
Well, we did the raid last week.
yeah?
Yeah, like Locke and Trip and a few people from the Discord.
How'd you guys do?
We got all the way to Callus in one try.
Okay,
wow.
cool. So you're doing normal.
Yeah, and we had 2 people who were new to the raid completely, so they were doing it blind, and we were guiding them.
I
Obviously,
hate blind rating.
well, we were
just hate
explaining
explaining
we were
it, yeah.
explaining it to them.
But
yeah.
you guys have already done it.
Yeah, Trip,
Tons of
Locke,
times.
and I have in that specific raid.
I might actually jump on the PC
Can you
bandwagon.
do it?
please?
Like my problem is that like I'm waiting for Forsaken to come out because when Forsaken comes out, you get a free character boost to 385, which is the cap right now, and you can just go straight into the new content. And I might as well just wait for like whatever little bundle they're gonna do because they've said closer to launch they're gonna do a PC bundle with everything. So it's like
okay.
like I'll just chill on like my big problem is giving up on my collection where it's like I've worked so hard, I have all 3 characters, like I have all these guns that you have to farm, like it
Yeah.
feels like so stupid to like have to leave it all behind, but like
I mean, I feel that way about my PS4 character. You know what I mean?
yeah, but like everybody's made the jump and it's just like I can run it, like I might as well just do
The
it.
game feels amazing on PC.
Yeah, and I played it during the beta. Like it's somebody put it in a really good way where it's like moving from a normal hard drive to an SSD where it's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like
it's night and day.
like unspoken, but like this is fucking amazing.
Like I turned back the PS4 before I purchased it on PC. I turned back the PS4 version on, and I didn't like anything
Yeah.
about it. Nothing felt great about it.
You aim and you pull that trigger and it hits where you aim. Like it just lines up. It's really good.
That's the only way that I'll play Destiny ever again.
Is it on
If
PC?
I build a PC and play it on the PC.
I mean,
We'll talk.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to build a PC, so
That
I'm
PC
never going
can
to play it again.
PC can totally run Destiny.
Not
2.
doing it.
I have a. I mean, I
Not
did,
fucking doing it.
I did that budget rig like
Yeah.
a year ago. It actually holds up great.
No, I don't
Looking
mind.
at
I-
Origins on it.
before
What
I-
graphics you got on it?
770 or
Oh, really?
yeah. I got a hookup on that, but I ended up getting a 1050 and that works fine.
Perfect.
The little mini cards, it's real cute.
What's up?
Before I play a game on that while I'm streaming,
Yeah.
I'll buy a whole new fucking built computer. Like, I'm not going to fucking do it.
Run your stream through that.
The nightmare that just fucking occurred to me, like, in 2015 when I just started being a streamer. and then
remember,
my
yeah.
whole fucking computer went down.
I remember that.
And
That's
now
when I
I'm
came
in a
on the
groove.
podcast.
I'm in a groove. I'm in a grind, and I don't want to fuck that up.
Well, other than that, I went to the Franklin Institute thing 2 weeks ago. We
Yeah.
went like 2 days apart.
I know.
Yeah, and then I was off last week. Great exhibit.
I
thought
went
that
on
was
my
really
I
cool.
went on my birthday.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's what it was. Mrs. Felix brought it up. She's like, "Hey, you never got to check out that Franklin Institute game thing." The only thing I'll say about it is,
Well, we heard what you had to say about it.
go.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We
Sorry,
did.
that was,
It's his
that was,
experience.
That was rude.
No. We heard it on like the last show or the show before that. I
Yeah.
already talked about it. Go ahead, bud.
No, it's cool. I really liked how what they did was. Have you seen the exhibit?
I've seen like parts of it.
So what they highlight certain developers like Tim Schafer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's the game masters.
yeah.
People who created games.
yeah, and
You
they
know?
go way
That's what
back.
it's all
So
about.
they did the guy who did Epic Mickey. He was
Oh, okay.
he was
Yeah,
featured.
yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot his name, but he was there. They did the guy who did SimCity. I forgot his name
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Maxis, the guy who started Maxis.
Yeah, we don't know them all by names, and that's the point. We were supposed to go through here and actually
do it.
like read
But, like,
the plaques,
Blizzard,
but we didn't.
But
We just played
Blizzard
games
had
the
their
whole
own
time.
thing, and it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was just like Blizzard Entertainment, and it said that.
But what was missing from it that to me kind of waters down the experience for an adult because it's great for kids.
Yeah.
you know, you go down there with your kids or your school
and they
or
experience
whatever.
games that
And
like,
they
oh, these are the
experience-
ones I grew up with.
Yeah,
Oh,
and they also experience a little bit of a history of like where these games came from. But the problem is none of the developers that matter to me as an adult were represented there at all. You know, Kojima wasn't there,
No,
You know?
and I don't think you would see
and he
him in
wouldn't
a-
be
in a
because his
Franklin
shit's
Institute.
like too violent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're
Was
not
there-
going to put violent
No Nintendo.
game developers in
I was
there.
about to ask, is there any representation of like Japanese like
Sonic
developers?
Team was there.
Okay.
So they did a bunch of the Sonic games. They had all the Sonic. Well, they had like Sonic 1, 2, Adventure,
Probably too many Sonic games.
Forces. Yeah, too many Sonic games. There was another Japanese creator, Shadow of the Colossus people.
Yeah, they were
Oh,
there.
Team Eco. Wow, that's
Yeah,
surprising.
yeah. So they showed, but the cool thing was they had like art books, they had design documents, they had all like the concept arts there for like Eco, Shadow of the Colossus. Like you could see like behind glass cases was like this was the book that they used to design a lot of the designs of the Colossi and stuff.
Somebody just breaks it open and uses it as a napkin.
I took pictures. I took pictures of a lot of it. Tim Schafer had Brutal Legend there, which was fun.
Brutal
That's
Legend.
the Jack Black
Yeah,
game.
you
Jack
brought
Black.
that up.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out. For some reason, I've been conflating this whole time, and I've always thought that Brutal Legend was somehow connected to Guitar Hero.
No,
That's
it's
conflating.
heavy metal. It's all about metal.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's like you play as a character that's voiced by Jack Black that like goes through like a Middle Ages like rock version. Oh, it's a cool statue.
Yeah, was that game? Is that current gen or is
Wow,
that last
that's cool.
gen?
No, that was last gen. That was like 360 PS3.
That's
Oh, the
Psychonauts
art.
artwork.
That's dope.
Yeah, that was in there.
Yeah,
Psychonauts.
Tim Schafer's had a crazy cool career actually.
Yeah, he
Double
really
Fine
has.
is like one of the like most OG studios around.
Black and white. Peter Molyneux. Is that who that's from?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Fable creator, the guy who created Fable.
The
Yeah,
most like ridiculous guy ever.
One of my first games that I purchased on the Xbox 360 that I bought to get back into gaming was Fable 3, and it was featured there. Fable 3 was like you could play it.
Yeah, Fable 2 is great. That's the one that I really connected with. But yeah, Peter Molyneux is like so like ridiculous with the way he'll describe things. He'll be like, and you can have a family, and you can
We're gonna create a whole
live."
world and systems you can live in.
Yeah.
He was known for over promising and under delivering.
Yeah.
That was like his whole thing.
And he does it in such an elegant way, and it's just like, dude.
Oh, because none of the Fable games actually played that way.
Well,
It's like such a bare like minimum of like
he would
how
like get on
describes it.
stage and promise the world, and he would deliver like
Yeah.
a continent.
He'll like talk
that
about
kind of thing. I don't
yeah.
know.
He'll talk like black and white, and he'll be like, "Yes, when you click a button, like the whole landscape changes," and it's like, no,
Yeah.
Like, not at all.
He's a visionary, not a designer. He's a
he's-
Steve Jobs.
He's the one
Yeah.
that had that. I mean, that game had the feature which I think was pretty cool, where you had morality choices that actually impacted the long-term playing of the game. So if you were bad the whole time in that game, you would start to grow horns.
Yeah.
And turn
In
into a
Fable.
devil. In Fable.
Yeah.
If you farted in front of somebody, they didn't want to stand next to you.
No, they didn't.
That is dynamic gameplay.
Yeah, real dynamic.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I remember
so,
enjoying Fable 3. I thought it was great,
didn't play
but
any
I
games?
didn't. play one or two.
I don't know. I was listed 3 games there that I've been playing.
That's a lot.
PUBG, I guess, every so often. I've been mostly on Destiny. The Switch I took with me over the weekend because I was gone for my birthday, and what was that? Hollow Knight.
Oh no,
That's pretty much what I've been doing. Yeah,
cool.
That's good.
yeah, dude. What about you?
Let's see. So I figured out what my new rotation's going to be.
All right, let's hear the rotation, man.
What is it?
What's the rotation?
Let me just say something about the current games. They're all coming to an end kind of at the same time, and now it's just like hitting trophies and achievements, and like because I'm getting to the end of collectibles that I've collected. So I just want to let you guys know I 100% completed Assassin's Creed Origins.
Wow.
I got all the trophies too.
Congratulations. So you have the platinum.
That's intense.
You got
That
I have a
game's
platinum.
huge.
I have a platinum for that.
Wow.
And I'm very close to getting most of the trophies in Ghost Recon, although I don't know. We'll see if I can actually get full 100% completion on that.
True.
I'm playing that on the box.
Trophies are intense.
But they're all showing up, and then I started looking at the list of the trophies on the other games, like God of War, and I've gotten most of the trophies so far in God of War because I've really been grinding the shit out of that. So it looks like I'm back to the addiction of trophy hunting.
That's good. He can be on that addiction with me. I love chasing platinums.
Yeah, I'm like, and you know what's really cool? You asked me the other day, and I never got to follow up with you. You said, DLC doesn't have platinums. But
Yeah, most
that
of
is
the time.
totally not true with Assassin's Creed.
Really?
It's a single game platinum, and all 3 of the other trophies give you a platinum.
That's cool. Wow.
Yeah, it's really so like you have the 2 DLCs, Curse of the Pharaohs and Hidden Ones, both platinums that you can get, and then you can even get a platinum for fucking doing the Discovery Tour where you just take the museum tour of the world.
Whoa, that's dope.
Yeah, like so I'm gonna do that. I'm 33% complete on that platinum trophy, so
Yeah.
that's pretty exciting. So the new lineup. So here's what I figured out I'm going to do, just to change it up a little bit. Okay. So my normal lineup is Assassin's Creed, Ghost Recon, Far Cry 5, and then God of War. And I rotate through that. And each game I play two streams in a row. So it takes a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm replacing Assassin's Creed with Assassin's Creed. But I'm going to do the Chronicles games. So the side scrollers.
Okay.
So I'm going to go through all 3 of those. They should be pretty quick, right?
They should quicker than the Origins, yes.
Then like a big game, yeah. And then Ghost Recon, get this, Mario Odyssey. I'm going to replace
Nice.
Ghost Recon with Mario Odyssey.
Really?
That's
I'm
cool.
going to do all of Mario Odyssey.
See, that's a
To a
really
degree.
hard completionist
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you should beat
I
it.
haven't decreed whether I'm going to do a completion on that.
Yeah.
Like 'cause
People complain too much about that game, being like, "Oh, there's moons everywhere." I'm like, "Yeah, but like, if you want to get all the moons, you have to really work at getting all those moons."
I don't know if I'm going to spend months trying to get every moon.
No, I don't think you should.
My primary concern will be just playing the game at first.
Yeah,
Sure.
just have fun with
Right.
it and play through the game.
Yeah.
You started yet?
I did, but I'm going to start it completely over when I started on stream. So, yeah, the Far Cry 5 is going to be replaced by the entire Wolfenstein series.
Is this your first time
Yes.
doing that?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah,
Awesome.
They're so good. Those games are
including
so up your
Old
alley.
Blood. I'm even going to do the Old Blood as well.
Okay, yeah.
Which
Very
is
cool.
Like the one that starts before it, like the prequel.
You
So-
should still play New Order first because.
Oh no! I am.
Okay,
I am.
yeah.
No. Yeah, I'm going to do them in the order that they were released.
Okay, cool.
So
Perfect.
that I think that was your recommendation.
Maybe
Somebody said
sounds
that.
like a thing.
Yeah, sounds right.
Thing that I might say.
And then finally, God
Yeah.
of War. I'm going to stay within the Sony family, and I'm going to do Uncharted: Lost Legacy on Crushing.
Have fun with that.
Sounds awful.
Well, here's the thing: Uncharted 4, I hated it, but it was possible.
Okay.
Right? God of War, I hated, but it's not possible. Well, maybe it's possible, but God of War mode is just
I would say
like
it
the
would
hardest
be
thing I've ever
if
played.
you do a new game
Yeah.
plus. I think that would be more possible because they did announce that. They did announce new game plus.
New Game Plus for what?
God of War.
Well, what do you mean by that?
So you complete the game and then you start the game over with all of your gear and all the stuff you've unlocked. So you can up the difficulty level and still retain all the skills and items you have.
Oh, so
Yeah.
maybe playing God of War mode then would be fun.
Yeah.
Not fun the way I played it.
No, probably not.
Total fuck.
Probably not.
Terrible.
Maybe.
But you think that's pretty cool? Lost Legacy would be pretty quick, and then hopefully I'll keep that Sony vein going
Until Spider-Man.
until Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man will
So
replace Lost Legacy.
I'm ready for that game,
Yeah,
man.
Spider-Man looks dope. I saw a video just today of somebody climbing up on top of the Empire State Building and like
Sure.
the scope of like everything you can see in NYC is like ridiculous that it can even run on a fucking PS4.
I'm so ready for that game,
Yeah,
man.
it looks great.
I'm ready for a good Spider-Man adventure.
A
Yeah,
good
and that-
spider romp.
When I hopefully, I mean, the Wolfenstein games should be just stories that I go through, right?
Yeah, those are no
Yeah.
walks in the park though.
Okay,
They're very intense.
I'm
like,
not going to play them on the hard difficulty.
thank God.
You
Okay.
recommend
Yeah,
Recommended I
don't
not do
torture
that.
yourself.
Yeah,
like
no,
No, I
that.
just want to play the story on
Yeah,
those.
just
so.
experience the story because the story is like unneededly good. Like it
Better
is-
than you would have ever thought Wolfenstein
Yeah,
would
like
be.
it doesn't have any right with a character named BJ Blazkowicz to be a good game. Like the
Yeah.
story is so good in Wolfenstein.
Cool.
Like such a sleeper hit. This
Yeah,
gen.
I really just want to play it through and just soak
Yeah.
that story in. And
Plus,
just,
like you can prep for the new DLC coming out. The
the daughters.
yeah
Youngblood.
Twin Snakes daughters.
Youngblood.
Youngblood,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
whatever.
what it's called.
Yeah, old blood, young blood.
Yep.
I really that kind of excited me when I was watching the first off. If you all don't know this by now, I like to play as female characters for some fucking reason.
I do too, actually.
I'm obsessed with
Yeah.
that. So the idea that you can play as two female characters that are like sisters, like, can you you think you're going to be able to alternate, or
I think you just pick one.
Isn't it co-op?
just pick one?
It's co-op, and
could be
you
co-op,
pick one,
yeah.
and then the other fills in as AI.
Oh,
do
gotcha.
you guys know when that's coming out?
I think they just said 2019.
2019
like
at
early
some point.
2019. Yeah.
Cool.
I have no way of looking it up for you
All right, don't worry about it.
because my computer is being used as
Yeah, it's fine.
the streaming.
But yeah, I'm excited about that, and then I put a bunch of pre-orders in.
Nice.
So I got my pre-orders.
I love how last week you guys addressed the question of like why are you pre-ordering, Felix?
Oh, did I bring up the pre-order shit last week?
I'm
not gonna
yeah,
bring
because
that
I
up
was
again.
I was watching it. I was watching it last week.
I'm not going to bring it up again. I got pre-orders. I'm excited.
See, let me just my 2 cents is
Go ahead.
There's no reason to pre-order. Even if you want the object.
I gave you reasons last week.
Well, hang on.
You don't like those reasons.
They're fine. They're fine reasons, and I'm not going to take your reasons away from you. I can't do that. That's not my right. But you have no idea if the game's coming together. Okay, you have no previews out, no reviews are out. Even if you still want the stuff, the extra bonus stuff they give you, you can do it up to a week before or a day before, and you'll still get the things.
That's not true of the Grand Theft Auto money I just got.
There are
That wasn't true.
Right.
Yeah, like there's some incentives.
I had to pre-order Red Dead before July 31st to get the money that I got for GTA Online.
As also, it gives when I think of okay, I'm pre-ordering a game, it's like okay, now I'm a sale. They have no reason to go. Okay, well, let's just make the best game possible. No, they already know how many sales they've clocked in. Yeah. I feel like it's sending the wrong message.
Do you
almost.
really believe that if I pre-order Fallout 76, Todd Howard and his team are not going to put as much effort in?
Not what I'm saying. But if we want to talk about Bethesda a little bit.
I do, because that
documentary... Do you remember a little game called Brink?
No.
Yeah.
Brink, that was a Bethesda published game, I believe, right?
Know Brink. Yeah.
I don't know Brink.
So this is okay. This is going to be one of Neo's tales from the GameStop.
Okay.
Because I used to work at GameStop a few years ago.
You did.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Tales from the GameStop.
I think that's working at that store ruined me to some extent.
Okay.
On certain things.
Yeah.
The store was like, okay, we got to push Brink really hard. This is going to be the newest, coolest game, shooter, parkour, Team Fortress, killer.
They wish.
And we pushed that. I pushed that on so many people to pre-order it.
Brink?
You're not getting Brink?
You're not going to get Brink?
You're not going to get Brink?
Yeah, that was me. I was the fucking guy.
So this is the reason why Neo doesn't like
this
pre-orders.
This is one of the reasons.
Neo was the whore who made everybody pre-order.
And then the game comes out, and a week later, guess who's back in the store? Everyone who played that piece of shit game.
And they were yelling at you.
I was the guy who promised them the world.
And Neo remembers the pain he felt when people were screaming at him.
I'm telling you.
You were Peter Molyneux.
I was Peter Molyneux. I was selling this product that I couldn't get behind because I never touched it.
Just letting you know, I feel very confident in my pre-orders. I will not blame you for them.
I'm not pushing them on you. I'm telling you the opposite. I'm now the guy who goes, wait for reviews.
Wait for those reviews.
Wait for feedback on the products that these people are putting out. These game developers are putting out.
I do want to no, I appreciate that because that makes fucking perfect sense. But in the case of Fallout 76, I want to play it early, and I do want to help them test it.
That's totally fair.
Did you get the special edition?
Okay, what is the deal with that?
What do you mean?
It's called the Tricentennial Edition.
Right.
And I went in and I read the notes on what I get for that pre-order, and there's nothing.
It's the special edition, like the physical one. You get
the helmet?
You get a helmet that you can wear and put on, and then you get like a map and shit.
So I was doing it digitally. And I went in and I went to the digital thing and it said,
I have no clue.
It said Tricentennial Edition.
That's weird.
And I looked at it and the price tag was $80. And I went, and I looked at the notes and all the other games I was pre-ordering at the time gave me detailed notes on what I get for doing it.
It's probably just seasonal updates.
They didn't do shit. Like there was nothing.
There's probably going to be some kind of like expansion pass for that game.
Yeah,
like, it is very much a live service.
I'm
so
sure
Tricentennial is probably including the Game Pass or whatever.
I don't know. Like
there's no notes.
I think it's going to be like how the Destiny 2 Forsaken is going to be, where like you can get the seasonal updates pack, which is just a season pass, where it's like, oh, we're going to roll out these 3 major updates like as the year goes on, and it's like, okay, sure,
I will tell you,
whatever.
and I said it last week.
It's not like an expansion.
I don't know why I pre-ordered Spider-Man, but I did.
I mean,
it's whatever.
That would probably be like one exception for myself.
That game's gonna be
you know what I
really
mean?
fun. Like,
Right.
But I still haven't. I haven't touched it. I haven't pre-ordered a game in years.
It looks really good though. That looks pretty good.
The only time I ever pre-order anything is if I know it's like going to be a rare game or a hard one to get. Like I pre-order like the only pre-order I really have
With
in right now.
With everything being digital, how hard is it to get a game now?
Sometimes I like the physical version.
That's another argument for why pre-order.
Here's an example. Like I don't have a memory card on my Switch, so I only have the 32 gigs like installed. So like I get physical versions because the digital downloads are too big.
Oh, same here. Same here for my Switch.
So one of the only games I have pre-ordered right now is Disgaea 1 Complete. That's a JRPG like turn-based game that's coming out on Switch this year. And Disgaea, like just Japanese games in general, like
Very
they,
niche.
Probably sell out real
it's
fucking
so
quick.
niche, and like they come out in such short amounts at first that like I just want to make sure I get a copy like day one. So like just,
That
like,
I understand.
Sure. Like, and plus like I
Makes
don't have
sense.
to. Yeah.
But there's like I'm not gonna pre-order the next Call of Duty because
No,
that's gonna be fucking
like,
everywhere.
That's stupid. I mean, sometimes with Call of Duty, that's like the one where it's like, oh yeah, play it 3 days early, and it's like,
All right,
whatever.
fine. Give me the weekend.
I did pre-order Battlefield 5.
That's fair.
And because I'm going to play it early.
Dude, I know you have
They'll
like
give you that
20 games
beta code.
pre-ordered. It's
Yeah.
okay. I just want to tell
5.
25, whatever.
5.
I just wanted to give you my point of view for as why pre-ordering is just weird.
You know,
Get your,
one reason why pre-ordering is really bad, if especially when you pre-order digital, is if you buy it and then it charges you twice for the game, it fucking nicks your credit card, dude.
He's gonna be in the Fallout 76 beta.
Yeah,
He's a pre-order.
we're gonna
So-
hear you talk about it. So
Well,
that's cool.
you're gonna get to see it. Or, you know,
Oh, you're gonna stream it.
because it's a beta.
Are you
Yeah, I'm
getting it
gonna
on the
stream that
box?
shit. It's not an alpha. What?
Are you getting it on the box?
Yeah, box.
He gets to play first before anybody. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh, how do you know that?
Because it's out
they
first on the
confirmed it, yeah.
Xbox.
Cool.
Xbox
Is it in
first.
that video? The no clip video?
I
No.
don't know.
By the way, everybody, Neo put me on Danny O'Dwyer's no clip. I fucking
No
didn't
Clip's
know. I know
fire.
Danny
Dude,
O'Dwyer.
I told you about No Clip last year.
You might have, but I didn't pay attention until now because it's the content, the Fallout. What other games have they done?
So
for
last
No
year I
Clip?
talked about Final Fantasy 14.
That one's so
He
good.
did a documentary on the rise and fall of Final
I remember.
Fantasy 14.
I remember you saying that.
That one's awesome.
So and now they've done a Fallout 4 one, and they've done.
Doom.
He's done Doom.
Oh, he did a Doom one.
Yeah, dude,
Witcher.
that channel is awesome.
They've
It's
done-
one of my favorite YouTube
Definitely
channels.
subbing them with the Emergent Gamer and with my own account.
The
Yeah.
Witcher is a really good one too.
Witcher.
That one
Cool.
just talks about like
Have they done one on Cyberpunk?
probably not.
Not yet.
But
Maybe.
that will definitely be one if he has the connections he does.
He says in the documentary for 76 is the first time they were watching a game before it comes out. It's the first time
Dude,
they
it
did
was
that.
so
yeah.
fucking good.
Very cool
Yeah,
that they can do that.
yeah. It's called. Just type no clip
Making of Fallout 76.
Fallout 76. Making of Fallout 76. If you want to know details, dude, what they're doing with the fucking nukes, where you nuke a part of the map and it turns it into a hard, like ultra hard mode.
Right.
Like that's a huge consequence to people wanting to constantly nuke the map, because basically, if you nuke parts of the map, you're going to turn them into irradiated like nightmare palaces where fucking
Nightmare
people
palaces.
die. Yeah, where
Yeah,
that's the
the
thing.
latest video they released was on designing the Dark Brotherhood for Skyrim and Oblivion.
That's cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
So and yeah, and
Dude,
he
I gotta
did
go. I'm gonna watch all of
documentary
those.
on Warframe.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch,
Which is a
all
really
of
cool
those
Horizon
motherfuckers, dude.
game. Horizon, they did Horizon Zero Dawn documentary.
Sorry, I didn't listen before.
It's okay,
What-
dude. I know where all the
Everybody's wrong at some point in their life.
It was taking a
okay.
second.
I know where
for
all the
me-
good creators are. Him, Mark Brown. That's a good one you should follow.
I've already watched one of those.
Yeah.
I haven't watched enough of them.
Dude,
but
I found that someone showed me that channel and I just binged the whole thing.
you sent me a link for a Mark Brown one in the Discord, and I'm trying to remember what it was about.
It
but
was I don't
It
remember.
was one of the ones you just, and it was awesome. It was fascinating.
Yeah, because he talks about the details of game design and what designers go through to make and craft an experience
Definitely,
for us.
both watching the No Clip and the Mark Brown, both of them get you very, very sympathetic for game developers.
Oh yeah, and the amount of time and work that goes into
And
it.
then we just
Still-
chew it
I'm
apart
still
in,
gonna
like, a
rate.
day.
And we're like, boo, your
we
game
we
sucks.
binge it in a weekend, and we're like, "Where's the rest of the game?"
I just want to let you know that when I'm playing Lost Legacy, I still will be yelling at Neil Druckmann. It's just it's a part of my thing now.
Neil Druckmann. One cool Mark Brown video that I think you'd appreciate. He does this. He does the health system of Resident Evil 4. Because that is a dynamic difficulty system.
That's cool.
So when you're doing really well in
Mark Brown or
Mark
Danny
Brown,
O'Dwyer?
Mark Brown.
Mark Brown.
So when you do really well in Resident Evil 4,
Yeah.
the game tries to make it harder for you. It'll send more enemies at you. It'll add enemies in certain
Wow,
locations.
that's cool.
When you're doing really poorly, it'll kind of ease up on you a little bit. It'll kind of gauge where you are with your ammo, and because that's the kind of game where you gotta hoard your ammo or use it.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like the programming they must have to do for that.
Oh, he goes into detail how certain areas change depending on how much ammo you walk into the room with it. So it's like
Wow.
really detailed the way that game works.
Sounds pretty awesome.
I love
that
it.
is cool. Wow. I
It's
mean,
a shame that I don't remember anything about it.
Resident Evil 4?
I
It's a
admitted
good
that
game. It's a
last
really
week.
good game.
Dude, that changed games. That
Played it,
changed
through,
games.
played it through GameFly. Didn't think about it ever again after
That's
that until now.
That's a shame. Because it is really like one of those games that like changed the course of games.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
replay it. I mean, did they re-release that in current gen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's on PS4.
So I could
just
probably...
like a lightly updated version. I think it
Yeah.
runs at like 60.
Yeah.
Cool.
So shall we get into the meat and potatoes of the episode?
This is the part where I don't talk as much and I listen.
So we're going to talk about Death Stranding.
Yeah, we are.
Because I'm very excited about it. And frankly, I'm tired of those losers Trip and Locke making fun of me for being so excited about it. They're not here right now, so I'm going to say whatever I want.
Can you defend me a little bit? I was not making fun of you in that episode.
No, your name was not included in that.
Yeah,
that shout out.
Right. I was just sitting there. You were saying all these things, and I saw your really long list, and I was just...
Yeah,
I was
this list
keeping
is pretty
I was
long,
looking at
It's
his list.
stupid. It's stupid for me to bring it up during that other show.
But I was looking at his list relative. We were in an E3 discussion trying to go through the bullet points of all these other
and I'm like,
games.
guys, this trailer.
He's like, I'm ready to talk about this. And we were like, dude, you can't talk about this in the E3 episode.
There's no way.
No.
Like,
But that
I was rightly shot down.
That engendered a really good idea, which is unpack that in a whole half of an episode.
So we're going to do that right now.
well, let's start with this. What did you? Because we'll start with at least something that we can all talk about.
Yeah.
What were your first thoughts watching this trailer?
They finally showed us gameplay.
Yes.
Which was like, okay, good. Now we have an idea of what the game entails. It looks like a delivery, like you're just carrying packages.
Yes.
But
I'm so excited.
but there's more. There's definitely more to it than
carrying
that.
babies. You're carrying babies.
Carrying babies and
You're
bodies.
carrying babies, bodies, and
Carrying some
weird-
booties.
It
Little
also
boxes.
it also shows me like, okay, this game is all in engine. Everything they've showed us so far has been in engine. It's not, pre-rendered cutscenes.
Yeah, that definitely impressed me.
Yeah.
That impressed me. I will tell you that.
I mean, it looks like it has a lot of style, and it looks like Kojima's doing his Kojima thing, where it's going to be a lot of detailed cutscenes, a lot of heavy acting.
I think he's.
You know what I mean?
I think he's leaning back into what he did with Metal Gear Solid 5, where
Yeah.
he's doing the one-shot thing. Where like people talked about that a lot with God of War, where it's like the
Yeah.
whole thing is done
Yeah.
with one shot, and it's like. I mean,
like Birdman.
All of the cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid 5 were one shot, technically. Now, that's not the whole game. Like,
No.
God of War is different in that way, where from start to finish, it is one continuous loop with Kratos, whereas this is broken up between cutscenes.
Did you
and
hear?
stuff.
Did you read the Onion article, the parody?
What's that?
It was Kojima coming out with a state of the art game that contains 1 2.5 hour cutscene,
Those are like all his games.
and the whole article is framed like him explaining how new this is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when Metal Gear Solid 1 came out, it was new.
I-
That had never been done before, what he tried to
Yeah,
do.
he's.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's a genius. Like, and that's like probably something that like people think like will scoff at or think it's stupid.
Yeah.
But like, he is really ahead of like the game on certain aspects. Like, he talks about how he wants to change the way you play and like how just like hitting something is not necessarily how you want to play the game, and the gameplay centers around connections. And I think that's such an interesting aspect because every time you see the game, there's always that underlying theme of connection with like something being connected to you, like the packages or like the handcuffs that they talk about.
Yep.
Or like
The umbilical cords.
the chords with like Mads Mikkelsen and the soldiers, and like it's so weird in that way, and like it's such an interesting concept. And I think I have a theory for how it's gonna play.
Yeah.
And
I do as well.
yeah, so we'll dish those out, but because he says that he like the whole thing that he keeps trying to get across is that like when you do something in the world, it's gonna stay there, and like that is so pinnacle for how the game plays out, and I think that can just lead into like how the theories go. But
Yeah,
like,
so definitely watch all 3 of the trailers.
Yeah.
Because I think
watch some of them at the same time as one another.
Yeah, I know.
You'll see weird shit.
Apparently,
So there's 3,
there's 3 total that he's released.
and they're all different.
4.
What,
There's
four?
the original release. There was the one with
Del
Guillermo
Toro.
Del Toro. Then there was the one where you see the time fall hitting the guy where he like,
That's
shoots
right.
himself. And then there's this
The
one.
E3. Oh wow, there's been
there's
4.
I've literally only seen the first one that was like the baby reveal.
You should watch the others. They're cool.
They're interesting, and then
Yeah.
apparently the first 2 trailers actually line up. The baby disappears in one trailer and then shows up time coded in the other trailer.
Yeah.
Pretty much
At the same point.
like at the same point in the trailer. I can't confirm that, but that's what people were saying at that time.
I've seen it. Yes.
So
Yeah.
can I? This isn't really a tangent,
Careful there.
but no, it isn't. I know you have a lot to get through.
Yeah.
But in television and cinema, I've had a struggle with ambiguous content, ambiguous endings, ambiguous.
I think you're not alone
content, right? And And just recently, I watched Legion, right?
Which is great.
Yeah. So, like, in the vein of like what Kojima does, like, I think I definitely don't feel comfortable with it. What I'm saying is, if on impulse I subjectively see something and I don't understand it, I think I need to not just condemn it. Mm-hmm. I need to take it in, revisit it, and then make a decision on whether I think it's good. Because, like, dude, Legion, I have to rewatch the whole like last season. It was so confusing to me. It's very abstract stuff.
Very paced. It was paced very weirdly too.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't know if you can blanket say with Kojima's work or with the show Legion, or even that I heard, and I haven't got to the end of it yet, but the ending of Westworld I heard was completely weird and ambiguous.
I haven't seen the finale yet.
I haven't finished the end either. But like Hollywood and like television and video games are really trying to do some stuff to alter the medium. So what Kojima is doing is really good for video games, because up until this point, what have they been? All they've been is fucking like shit they sell to people, something you peddle to somebody.
Yeah, exactly. And that's usually what video games are.
You know, and he's trying to turn, just like Andy Warhol, he's trying to turn products into art.
I saw someone online ask, does anyone think Kojima's just like, is this just like BS, or is he just like trolling us and stuff? And the best reply I saw was, well, I'd rather have these artists create something really unique and do something new and different than just give me the same BS that we've been getting like every other year.
Yeah, like he's so influenced by film, and like if you ever watch him talk about it, like he loves like Stanley Kubrick and like David Lynch, like he's super into that kind of stuff, and it shows in like what he like creates, and like he's totally influenced by the 80s and whatnot. But like it's
you just named two filmmakers, by the way, Kubrick and Lynch, that you cannot take literal.
Like they're so weird and surreal.
If you
and
watch
it's great.
them literally, you fail.
Yeah,
you fail.
But like, I think it's so interesting because like watching that video and like of what we saw at E3, and like you can't compare it to anything else that was seen. Like you have these other games, which nothing against these other games, but like
you're shooting.
You have Spider-Man, which looks awesome, but it's another open world game. You have Assassin's Creed, which looks beautiful, but it's another open world game. Mm-hmm. And then you have this.
Call them what they really are. They're products. Just for sale. That's what they are.
Everything's
intellectual properties.
But it's like, and then you have like Battlefield and like Call of Duty and it's like and Destiny, and they're all these shooters. But then you have this, which is a third-person open world game, yes, but you're like making deliveries, and like you don't really have a good feel for what's happening in the game yet.
You're asking questions like, "What am I doing? What is the purpose?"
It already looks way more interesting than a lot of like it's original looking. Like it doesn't look like anything else. It doesn't look like there's side quests from what you can see. It looks like you're trying to make these deliveries. And like what other game can you go right now and be like, yeah, I want to go play a game tonight that like involves like delivering packages or like something stupid like that. And it looks gorgeous also. Like this is the Horizon engine technically. Mm-hmm. It's an updated version of Horizon Zero Dawn's engine.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So It looks awesome and the world looks beautiful. But it's that story is going to be thick and it's going to confuse and like make people mad for sure. But I think that people that like Kojima's style of telling stories are going to really dig this, just like how we were all about what they're showing. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like I go on the Reddit once a week just to like read what people put.
This honestly reminds me of the days when we were waiting for Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 5 to come out.
Yeah.
When Metal Gear Solid 5 was revealed, he announced it under the guise of a studio called Moby Dick Studios. Yep. And the director of the game wore bandages all over his face, like the character did in the trailer.
You mentioned that, yeah.
Yep.
And he called it just the Phantom Pain. And a week later from that trailer, people online were like, oh, this looks just like a Metal Gear game. Yep. And people were deducing what was going on in this trailer, and they were trying to figure it out and decode it and deconstruct it. That is the exact feeling I'm getting.
So he didn't tell anybody it was a Metal Gear game.
No,
he just said it was called the Phantom Pain.
He said he was making a new Metal Gear game and people saw it, but then he also showed this later, and he didn't even show it. Like they just came out and were like, "Oh, we'd like to show you something," and they were like,
"New game
Moby Dick Studio," and like people even like a week later like took the logo for the Phantom Pain that was shown and overlaid it on top of Metal Gear Solid 5. And then they were like,
"Look how this lines up.
Yeah.
Look how this lines up."
And it did. Like that was the title.
That's crazy.
Metal Gear Solid 2, when they were announcing that, they showed you only 1/5 of the game.
Yeah.
They showed you the tanker. You were Solid Snake on a tanker in the rain, and that's how he was demoing the game. And that was a red herring because after the tanker scene, you played majority of the game as a character called Raiden, which he hid from all press and everything.
Nobody saw that
It was
coming.
a complete like surprise to everyone who expected to play the game as Solid Snake.
And you see Snake in that game too, and you're like, is it ever going to change back? And it
Never
like,
did.
Spoilers, it never does. Like
You're Raiden.
Yeah.
And his
I think that's
theory,
one I played.
his theory in that in doing it that way was he wanted you to be the guy looking up to Snake. He wanted you to be the guy looking up to that legendary hero, Solid Snake.
Yeah.
You were the rookie in this case. You were the guy coming in fresh faced. So it changed your perspective as rather being the legendary superhero, you're the newbie, the rookie. And honestly, looking back in that game, it's an amazing. Like
2's my favorite.
it's definitely one of the best ones for sure. I replayed the shit out of that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Kojima's style in a nutshell.
Yeah.
You,
So let's
you
get
ready to
these
get
theories.
into this
I
trailer?
want to hear. So yeah, let's hear your general theory as to what you think gameplay feels like or looks like. 'Cause
So-
I'm interested.
One cool
Or the
thing.
story.
I think this is going to be very much like a Dark Souls style game.
Okay, that's interesting.
I think a lot of the multiplayer aspects that he speaks of is going to be because he talks about connections very, very often and the things that connect us all together.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be an online component to the game
Okay.
that will connect you to other players. You'll either see their shadows or you'll see their craters.
Okay.
Because when you die in this game, you leave behind a crater.
Yeah.
And that crater is permanent. It's supposed to be permanent
How do
in
you
the
know
world.
that? Did you see that?
They've
in the trailer?
talked about
This
that.
this is all the coverage from E3.
Yeah.
A lot of this. And a lot of this it was in my notes
You
from
can dissect things from the trailers as well and the way they talk about it, where it's like, even the way they talk in cutscenes, where it's like, yeah, you'll come back, but like the land will not
be the same.
Yeah.
So the rain in the game is called Timefall.
Yeah.
This ages your character rapidly.
Yeah.
So now death seems to be a natural part of the game. So and the baby, from my assumption, the baby
The baby
that I yelled, the baby
is your previous.
The baby!
Is your next life or whatever.
it's essentially a clone of you that grows into you again.
If you die.
So you watch Norman Reedus plug himself into the baby's pod, and that I'm guessing is you're activating the baby.
Yeah.
Code name activate the baby.
Activate that baby.
And that will transfer.
Hashtag activate.
That's the
that
name of the
baby.
episode. Activate the baby.
Activate the baby.
Hashtag activate
that's
the
a
baby.
good
Damn right it is.
title. The characters that you meet in this new trailer, they actually have dialogue this time, so we can take a lot from that.
Yeah.
Norman says he can't sense them, which them being the enemies, I'm guessing, the shadowy enemies.
Yeah.
But he can feel them. But when he plugs into the baby, he can see them.
Yeah.
So you see him plug into it, and he's using stealth mechanics that we're familiar with from Kojima
Yeah.
as well. Do you have any input there?
Yeah. So like, I think that I think the babies, just like the way they talk about this, because this whole conversation is just gonna get so fucking weird now.
It's gonna get real
but that's
fucking
fine. Like that's totally fine. The way it looks in the trailer and the way they talk about the baby, it seems like it's an unintentional use of it. Because when he's like, "What are you gonna do?
He's like,
You
"I'm
have to get
fucked."
back here," and he's like, "I have an idea," and then all he does is the same thing that we've seen him do in the trailers, which is activate the baby into his suit, which starts
Yep.
the little flapper to like see the targets. That seems to be what we saw in the last trailer was that being used to like scope things out, and we were just theorizing like, is that what's detecting these invisible creatures?
Some sort of
this
radar.
trailer seems to confirm that, but there's some type of alternate use, it seems. Just the way he talks about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I have an idea. And like, he immediately just takes out the baby, which also seems like when the craters happen, the baby leaves the capsule.
Right.
Because it's blacked out and it's not there.
It's like you're using like an extra life.
Yeah,
almost.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think that the way that he wants to design the world is going to be permanently impacted, kind of like, he's like, oh, it stays there forever.
Right.
And I think there's such an emphasis on the land and the way they position in the trailer, showing you these great landscapes and stuff, that the reason it's such a high emphasis is death is not permanent, because you destroying the land is the ultimate impact. Every
Right.
time you die, you're destroying parts of your delivery track, you're destroying nature,
Oh.
like parts of the world are being destroyed, and you're literally destroying the open world as it happens.
Right.
So like, I think that's the underlying hook, where it's like, it's changing the way you play with death. It's changing the way you look at the open world game because he keeps emphasizing it. And the way that characters talk about it in the trailers, it's like they don't care about if they die. They like there's characters in the trailers which are trying to commit suicide to stop it from happening. That seems to be the thing where like if a body gets consumed by these shadow creatures, it starts the process of making the crater. So characters are like stabbing themselves in the chest or trying to shoot each other.
We saw that in like the last trailer
to stop it from happening, because if it happens, it destroys nature. And like I think that's ultimately what he's trying to say is like the open world being destroyed is a bigger deal than you dying.
That's interesting. And see,
yeah,
yeah, boy,
hire me, Kojima. I know you.
That's really cool because that does change a lot of different dynamics in the way you play games.
Yes.
I don't want to say like Minecraft, but like almost like Minecraft.
Yeah.
Whereas like certain things will alter the land in certain ways. No, that's too weak. That's too weak to say that. But that is a really cool way to look at that.
It's an interesting concept that I think it might happen just because like I think there's enough in the trailers to base that off of.
So what do you think the reasoning for aging using that timefall rain?
I think it's just like a weird effect on the land, or like I think that the people.
Well, it doesn't seem to. It only affects like people or organic structures. Nothing inorganic.
Yeah. I mean, that's still hard to read. Like, there's guns in the game, which is, like, also weird. Like, I don't know if there's, like, a resistance or something.
If it's in the same vein as other Kojima games, then stealth is going to be a main focus, and shooting is going to be not... It's going to be a last resort.
Yeah. And, like...
Sam did carry a gun in one of the scenes.
Yeah, for a minute. Yeah, it's hard to read that, honestly. I think that, like... I don't know, dude. Like it's so out there and so interesting, but I think that there's enough there to like just go by, and like the rain itself is probably something where like maybe you aging out is just like a way of just becoming weak, and like they don't want to become weak in the environment because these things come out at night or when it rains. It seems like it's just when it rains is when people freak out, and everybody's wearing these overcoats and stuff. And I think
one character had like that umbrella.
Yeah, her. Like it seems like they're rival delivery services.
Yes.
Because of the way they talk. She's like, you should just come for work for me, and he's like, I don't want to do that. But then if you look at the photo of Norman Reedus that he tries to pick up, he's in the photo. And so is the woman at the end,
the Bionic Woman.
Yeah. But it looks like they're in the
That's
White
not her
House.
name in the game. She played the Bionic Woman on TV in the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like they're in the White House. Just for like, you can see an American flag in the background and stuff. And it seems like there's something that, happened obviously, but now there's these weird rivaling delivery companies that are trying to keep the world alive, maybe?
Yeah, and it seems like Norman Reedus' character is special.
His name is Sam.
His name is Sam in the game.
And I don't even think his name is Sam Porter Bridges. I think that he's a porter.
That's an interesting name.
Yeah.
Bridges.
And like
something that connects two things.
I think her name will have something with Fragile in it because it's the delivery company she works for. That's why it says Fragile on the back of her jacket. It's the company that they work for, just like how he works for Porter.
I had that written down here. Wow.
Yeah.
That's very good.
You fuckers are reading Reddit.
I mean, dude, like it's such
there's
like,
a lot going on.
This game is so cool. That's why it's like fun to talk about. Like he has
Do we know
style.
when it's coming out?
No.
Fuck no. That game's never coming out.
This game's probably not.
I can't wait.
This game's probably not at least 3 years out.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're all going to be old by the time it happens.
What?
We're going to all be old
See, that's part of the meta game.
Yeah.
We age with the development of the game.
Yeah.
And then by the time the game comes out, we're old.
I'm
it's gonna be great.
old.
Yeah.
I'm already old.
I'm old too.
I'm old now.
See, the thing with Kojima is he's been wanting to get off Metal Gear for a really long time.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's had this notebook.
Yeah.
Of just ideas he's been waiting to do, but Konami held them back.
No, it's like did you guys ever see Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Long time ago.
Yeah.
It's like he's making elements of Death Stranding in his mashed potatoes.
Oh my god.
He just has this like idea, and he's like, what's the line the guy Richard Dreyfuss keeps saying over and over again? He keeps saying, "This means something." He keeps saying, "This means something."
So yeah, one of my theories about the game is I feel like the game is like a Children of Men like world, where because of the way babies are stored and created, you're essentially rebirthing yourself.
That's
every
literally
time.
That's
literally
interesting.
that's one of my
Yeah.
that's my I think my favorite science fiction movie. that
Yeah.
I've ever
So
watched.
I feel like reproduction is something that's
Limited.
and controlled by something, some company or entity or something, like maybe even the Mads Mikkelsen's character's company, because
Yeah.
he seems like he's a very
He seems to be a part of some type of militarized version of it.
So there are
Yeah.
there's three rivals in this. This woman, him, and
well,
then
I'd
Mads
say
Mikkelsen?
supporting characters
or does
at least,
does,
but
does he work for Mads Mikkelsen?
don't know.
We don't know.
In the Del Toro trailer, Mads Mikkelsen's in there, and at you're seeing Del Toro carry this care for this baby, and he's trying to hide it, and you watch kind of like a military
You see Del Toro, you mean Mads Mikkelsen?
both.
Both.
But in the beginning of the trailer,
Benicio Del Toro.
Benicio Del Toro is in one of the trailers.
Got it.
Yeah, and you see he's hiding this baby, and you see this military faction just kind of go overhead across this like bridge and kind of a destroyed city, and the camera kind of pans around and goes through a tunnel where you see Mads Mikkelsen approach, and he's looking all evil and he's wearing military gear, and he plugs a bunch of umbilical cords into himself, and a bunch of I don't know what the shadows, the evil shadows, kind of run out from him. Is that what happens? Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh, Mads Mikkelsen. If you look at the soldiers, they're skeletons.
They're skeletons.
Yeah, they're skeletons in military wear, like literal like skeletons. It's cool. But I don't know. Like I think about it more like with the water, and like maybe there is something with the water that's doing it, because
Yeah.
like you think about all the dead sea life at the shore bays and the beach
from the first trailer.
Yeah, and maybe it's not just the rain, but it's just water in general that has this weird side effect that's causing them to dry out and die. So, but yeah, like the umbilical cords, it goes back to that connection thing where
Yeah.
it's like everything's connected in some way, and it has to stay connected. But then there's like weird stuff where like you think about like the doll that Guillermo del Toro sees floating by.
Yeah.
And like, is he like transferring his consciousness into that? Like, is there like some type of aspect that does that?
I have to rewatch that trailer.
Yeah. It's a weird one.
been a
but
while
it's
since
cool.
I've seen it.
It's very cool.
Damn, I got to rewatch all these trailers.
The other thing that's interesting is that the characters are all like scarred in some way. 'Cause
Yeah.
you look at like Norman Reedus has like a tear in his stomach. Like, you know, it looks like
Like he had a C-section?
Yeah, exactly. And then
Sure.
like Guillermo del Toro has a huge scar in his head. Mm-hmm. Like he had a lobotomy or some shit. Like it's like there's some type of weird side effect for doing this. It's very strange.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, like the rain, I mean, all these skeletons kind of show, okay, so anything organic that touches the rain ages to the point of death.
Yeah.
So
It's
that
like,
that could also be what all these
they're all grayed out crabs.
Maybe
yeah.
the storyline of this is an attempt to colonize a weird planet.
Yeah.
It could be an alien thing.
Yeah, like these are people.
They're
who-
terraforming.
Yeah, they're
the
trying
planet.
to terraform this planet, and then discover at the last minute that there's this weird rain that ages you. Like
Yeah, there's the handcuff again. Yeah, we're watching the first trailer, it looks like.
Somebody pointed something out interesting that I didn't even think about, that casually watched it, and they're like, oh yeah, I saw him in the trailer, like he was getting washed down in that decontamination room, and I was like, I didn't even think about it like that. It is kind of like a decontamination room where he's sitting like kind of
In the
naked
shower.
washing out. Yeah, like it's like it totally feels like that. Yeah, I mean this trailer we have on right now, it's like the first one.
This is the first
and
one.
like it totally like feels Children of Menish, where it's like the baby's important. In
The
some way.
babies are important.
But yeah, he's always got them handprints on him too.
Yeah, he's got handprints all over him.
Yeah.
That might be because he in the trailer, in the recent trailer, he says, "Oh, I can sense them, but I can't see them." So there might be something really unique about Norman Reedus'
They're
character.
so specific about that stuff.
No,
too.
in that first trailer, that baby disappeared. He consumed the baby.
Wait a second.
that could be it. Yeah.
Like,
he's got the scar.
If you
across.
look at it, the handprints are tiny,
yeah.
like a baby. I didn't even notice that actually.
Yeah.
Like it went invisible and then now it's like that.
Did it become one of the shadows?
Oh my god.
The
Hot
baby
takes.
became one of the shadows.
But that's the thing, is like you watch these trailers and you see stuff you didn't even see the last
And you're
time,
like-
and you're like, oh fuck, that totally goes with theories. and
This is
stuff.
the most fun part. This is the most fun part about Kojima's trailers, because he's showing us all these things, and when you play the game, you're gonna be like, oh,
that
that's
makes
why.
sense.
Yeah.
That's why that's like that.
Yeah.
Um,
He said in interviews like, it's not gonna make any sense, but when you see it and you get it, you get it.
Yeah.
Like,
It's going to be obvious to us after we've got our hands
Yeah.
on the game, I'm sure.
What's the name of the Bionic Woman, of the actress?
Lindsay.
Now, when this first
gotcha.
came out, was there any information about Death Stranding existing?
No.
When
This game
came
got
out?
really announced way too early.
Yeah, it got wait because it was within a year of Sony partnering up with Kojima.
Yeah, it was super early, and like they really just wanted to come out and be like, "Look at our cool new studio that's going to cost a lot of money."
Yeah,
When you
Lindsay
guys,
Wagner.
when you guys, Lindsay Wagner.
There's like they did an interview right at E3, like probably like an hour after that trailer launched, and they
Yeah.
were like, "It took me 3 hours to explain to her how Timefall works and the connections."
Yeah,
It's like,
but she's
Jesus
also
Christ.
like not a gamer.
She's not a gamer,
So-
and they're doing translations, so like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, ooh.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. And that other actress who was in the trailer was from the James Bond
Yeah,
Skyfall.
James Bond,
I
yeah.
forgot her name. She's got a foreign name,
Yeah.
European. I'd have to look all this up, but yeah,
I don't know anyone.
it's pretty cool. Like
It's very cool.
I don't know what else can I say about it?
Is there anything else in your notes?
We covered snacks. Freaking covered half my notes. Real
Sorry.
quick.
He killed your notes.
I
He
didn't
killed.
mean to do
You
that.
killed his notes.
This was at Comic-Con. I was super into it. The
Yeah,
chibi version of
Ludens.
it.
Ludens, which is the mascot of Kojima's productions.
I'm so into the chibi version. I want that. They had
It
shirts
does look
too,
really cool.
but I didn't want to spend money on them.
Yeah, I talked about the goal isn't to fight and defeat; it's to reconnect to the world. It's very much a stealth game.
It's
Mads Mikkelsen says the game is won through global player collaboration.
Are we gonna have to do some
definitely
PT
not
shit?
Benicio del Toro that's in this, dude.
No, look at him. It's Benicio.
No, it's Guillermo.
Oh my God! I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
It's Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del
Yeah,
Toro,
it's
the
Guillermo del
director.
Toro.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, which
Sorry.
is not the same person.
Sorry, were we saying Benicio this whole time?
You were,
Was I?
and I was. Did you say Benicio del Toro? And I went.
I mean, I knew who I meant.
and then I looked it up, and then the actress that you were thinking of is Leah Seydoux,
Yep, that's
who
it.
I know from something.
Skyfall. I think she was in Skyfall.
I did not see that. What do I know her from? Holy shit.
Let's see. So with Sam and that woman, what's her name?
Leah Seydoux.
Leo Seydoux. They're talking in the cave,
Leah Seydoux.
and Sam and the lady have dunes. It's hard to tell what they're saying, but she probably has Sam beat in the level.
He's got the pin for.
I know her
Bridges
from Midnight
Company.
in Paris, by the way.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a Woody Allen film.
Oh,
That's
Midnight
amazing.
in Paris, yeah, with Owen Wilson.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
It's really good. Yeah,
So Sam can
she
only
plays
feel them,
Gabrielle in that.
but not see them. Sorry, I'm just going through my notes here.
Very good.
The lady works for Fragile Express. It's her own company. She's trying to recruit Sam into it. They're also doing deliveries. So deliveries are important. I have a feeling because civilization's broken down, and this is the way they get people to move supplies.
Mm-hmm.
This is just my guess.
Yeah.
Her suit spikes up quite possibly when it's detecting the enemy shadows, the ghosts.
Okay.
In an interview with Kojima, he clarified that timefall is rain that causes time to fast forward. In the trailer, we see a raindrop hit Sam's hand and cause his skin to wrinkle. The plants are continuously growing and dying as well.
Yeah.
Sam has a family photo,
Does that photo age out when it gets touched?
and its content is fast forwarded, not the
Yeah.
actual photograph. His daughter becomes an adult, and him and his wife become old in it
Really?
after he gets it back.
I didn't notice that.
This
Wow.
might be due to the timefall or the ghosts. The female character is not named so far, but her name may be a big plot point. The woman at the end
Number
of the
two, this trailer.
this is number
That
two. This
we're
is
watching?
the Mads Mikkelsen part.
Okay.
The woman at the end of the trailer is not the woman at the beginning. Yeah. The bug things that you watch Leah Seydoux eat,
Yeah.
they're called chronobites. And eating one a day keeps the time fall away, is what she says. So her organization has a solution of not being aged by
They're
time fall.
skeletons.
Oh yeah, there's just.
They're skeletons in like military wear.
This may also be the bug that Sam pukes up in last year's
It's
trailer.
really fucking weird.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you notice, like when the timefall happens and or when the crater happens and like he shows him in the water and like it comes into a zoom in of his face before you go into his throat and you see the baby.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of the chronobites kind of floating up in the water actually.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he wakes up back in the real world after the crater happens, he coughs a bunch of them up and they kind of swim back up, almost as if it's like a double world where like there's like like the floating in like the shadows and these the chronobites, like the way they move is like they move like they're through the water, and like you think about the floating of like the tethered shadows and stuff, like there's an alternate reality to it that's like underwater in a weird way. It's like it's super weird but cool.
It is. Wow, look how good that looks, man.
Damn. That's Nicholson. He's a great actor.
He's gonna eat that baby?
No. He's gonna eat that baby.
He's in a good movie called The Hunt.
So being eaten by ghosts will cause you to void out. You'll get sent back, and a giant crater will be left. Okay, we talked about that. Yeah. This is what happened in the last trailer. The guy failed to kill himself in time.
Yeah.
Then a void out happens, destroying and erasing all nearby surroundings. So that's probably important.
This game is kind of going to teach you a whole like language.
Yeah.
Kind of like Altered Carbon just did.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of like terminology. I had to go to this website called Altered Carbon Terminology to understand what I was playing.
Yeah, this has its own world and mechanics clearly. There's even stuff like
but teaching you terminology like language stuff like that's unique to the story itself that codes the story.
The third trailer that's on
cool.
right now that we see, like the one where like we actually see like the crater happen and stuff. It looks like they're delivering a body, which we saw from the E3 trailer. Like at one point he has a body on his back. But like it seems like the rain somehow gets into the body, and that's what starts the whole course of events to happen there. Like again, it goes back to the idea that the body's being hit by the water, and like the shadows
definitely seems like
influences it.
Like a thing where they tried to terraform a planet, and like they discovered that.
I mean, we don't even know if it's on Earth. Yeah,
we don't know, but I know I agree with you on the Porter thing too. That looks like a brand.
So here's a quote from Kojima.
But that's not his name.
Porter could be his company.
Yeah, the company he works for.
Kojima said over E3, when you're ready to return to the world of the living, you can get back to your body. However, unlike most games which set you back to a point before you died, Death Stranding acknowledges your defeat and seems to embrace it. You're transported back to the world after your death, like in Dark Souls or roguelikes, where your actions maintain an aura of persistence. The mechanic of dying is ubiquitous in video games, but it sounds as though Kojima is implementing the system inspired by purgatory and reincarnation. So that's going to be a lot of influence from that. And as you saw in the trailer, there's a crater, and when you come back, it's still there. So okay, I'm repeating myself now. He carries a baby clone of himself, so if he gets eaten by a monster or voidfall, you'll be triggered and it'll leave the crater. Okay.
Did you mention what is the thing that's like spinning next to that guy's head?
That seems to be the radar system that they use to detect whatever these enemies are.
Yeah, it seems to be the only.
So yeah, that pretty much covers my notes.
But that's the other thing. It doesn't seem like it relies on the baby. Like it's like there's
Is he carrying a baby currently?
Well, even if he. Yeah, like it's so hard. It's so hard to tell with this game. It's so cool though.
And look, there's a wrapped body.
Yep, and it seems like the face is in some way disintegrating, and I think the rain hitting it enough causes it.
It's just so. Oh my god, I love just guessing what's going on in this type of thing.
Definitely the rain disintegrating. That
for sure. Man, well Is that a good breakdown of Death Stranding?
Yeah, that's Death Stranding.
What we know so far. All right.
Is anyone still with us?
I hope so. Because we're going to wrap up that episode right now.
Yeah, I'm ready to.
Yeah.
We're ready.
Death Stranding is going to be interesting. Who knows if we'll ever fucking know what it's actually about, but it's going to be cool.
I sure hope so.
Whenever it comes out.
Absolutely.
Do you think it's current gen? I think it's current gen. I'm going to go with a hard guess that...
I think it'll come out at the end of the generation.
I think it'll be the swan song like The Last of Us was.
It'll do the same thing Metal Gear Solid 5 did. Where it came out on PS3 and PS4. You know how they released it? Like GTA did the same thing?
Yeah.
It's going to do that too. And I didn't talk about this on the E3 show, but I think a lot of the games we saw at E3 are next-gen games.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it'll show on both platforms, but they'll feature... better visuals on the newer platform.
I honestly think that there's this was like the last E3 we're gonna get with actual current gen games.
Yeah.
I think next year we're gonna
start seeing the new stuff.
This is what we actually have for the next gen.
Troy Baker is going to be playing a voice in it.
Holy shit!
What? Troy Baker's in a video game?
No, but he's in this game. Just so you know.
That's so weird.
He's credited for a voice. That's all it says right now.
Oh my god.
But that's weird that he's having Guillermo del Toro to play a part because he's normally a director.
Him and Guillermo, they're BFFs in real life.
Yeah.
If you follow his Twitter, you see them like getting lunch and stuff all the time.
Film, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, well, because I think Kojima's like, hey, I like your movies. You wanna hang out?
Guillermo del Toro's just like,
I'm pretty
sure.
that's what happened. I'm no joke, but yeah.
Probably.
And the same thing happened with Norman Reedus. He was like, hey, I really like Boondock Saints and Walking Dead. You wanna
hang out?
Want to be in a video game? Want to hang out and be in a video game?
He probably sent emissaries to like weird like underlings.
I just love how
say hello and bring a present. Like some kind of gift.
Present him.
It's like it's like
my fish person.
It's like no, I was gonna
Let
say
me give you my Metal Gear.
The person shows up with like a chocolate baby cake. Like
presenting a baby,
like the baby from the game, but like if you cut into it, it's like chocolate. And he's just like, "What? Why are you sending me this gift?"
Speaking of cake, I got cake at home, baby.
Oh man.
Well, that's good.
Birthday cake.
That's good. Oh, when did you turn?
My birthday was last week. Friday.
Yeah. No. What was the birthday again? I forgot.
How old?
Yeah, I don't know how old.
31.
31.
Nice.
I'm an old boy.
That's
Old
okay.
boy.
Not as old as this
that's a good movie
motherfucker.
too.
Old boy. A great movie.
All the good movies.
I don't know about the remake. I haven't seen it.
No.
Is it 2 days after mine?
Yeah, like 2 or 3.
21st?
22nd.
22nd. Yeah, 3.
Birthday.
Happy birthday, dude.
Thanks,
Happy
man.
birthday.
Well, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, this is it. This has been episode
72.
Did we say 172?
I did.
I don't think we.
We
I don't
did.
fucking
We
I
did.
totally said it.
Yeah. You're outnumbered 2 to
So
1.
yeah, this is Neo Yoshi, Neo_Yoshi on Twitter, Neo Yoshi on Twitch, baby.
And this is Felix Hergood. You can catch me twitch.tv/Felix Hergood, mixer.com/Felix Hergood. I do a Mitch chat. I do both services at once. So please come in, follow me on both, and be a Mitch.
This is Snacks the Cat. You can catch me on nothing. Don't find me.
Don't find me. I love that. That's my favorite.
I made a hashtag for you, though.
Snacks the Cat, don't find me. Hashtag don't find me.
On Twitter, it's hashtag Snacks the Cat. And it's populated with stuff about you. And right? Stuff about
That's
you.
what hashtags do.
And
Okay.
stuff about some digital cat named Snacks the Cat.
What?
Yeah, so it's like you
Like
and
me?
you-
Oh, and some other thing.
No,
called
some
Snacks the Cat?
other thing called Snacks the Cat.
Okay then.
So it's just like you and this other animated thing.
All right then.
Yeah. So
Well, good night, folks. See you next week.
Meow.
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 You can't take my thing.
I can't meow. Meow. All right, goodbye.
Cool.
Yeah, we're done.
They should make an Assassin's Creed game where you are the bubonic plague and you're just killing everybody. That'd be way cool.
You're floating mist,
Yeah.
but you still have the hidden blade.
You're just a rat.
There's a hidden
Just
blade.
a rat with a little cloak
There's
on.
a hidden blade hovering in the air.
All right, it works now.
Kill a lot. Every time you assassinate one person, like 800 people die.
You kill one in the whole area.
Yeah.
It's like the whole game is just the gas bomb
Yeah,
mechanic, you know.
I'm gonna stop this shit.
Except you gas the whole neighborhood. You gas the whole map the minute you play.
The Templars are just plague doctors trying to stop it from breaking out. So dumb.